I get this question a lot. I happen to see this on a Reddit post, so I'm going to answer it. So this guy wants to know if it's okay for him to just focus on one person after having done the thing of dating multiple people on first dates. And he wants to know, is this unhealthy attachment or is this clinginess? So here's his message. He says, I'm a 33-year-old guy in a major metropolitan city, and I'm looking for a long-term relationship. I've been fortunate enough to be photogenic, so he looks good, have important aspects of my life together, and have been told I'm charismatic and appropriate, open, or real as in person. So I believe I meet a lot of the initial check boxes to build attraction. As a result, I don't have any issues getting matches and lining up 3 to 5 first dates in a week if I have the mental and emotional energy. I've noticed my personal behavior pattern is without fail. Go on 3 to 5 first dates. Most of the time, all of my first dates can be converted to second dates. Good for you, guy. That's a good ratio. It's 100%. Fantastic. But there's always one woman that has an X factor that truly draws me in and piques my interest. At this point, I can objectively remind myself the other women had positive qualities too. I even recall being physically attracted to them and to leave that door open, but I don't. Not even like maintenance text. However, once the woman with the X factor is in the picture, I lose all motivation to continue talking to the other women, and I only want to focus on one. I just want to get to know them better and try my best to further build foundational pieces of a healthy relationship. Trust, vulnerability, openness, etc. And it feels like my mind and soul don't have the energy to continue entertaining and doing the same with others. Objectively, I know I'm limiting my optionality. However, I can justify to myself why focusing on one is healthy, and I'm the antithesis of a roster keeper. Has anyone felt the same way and forced themselves to change up to optimize for optionality? Is this a type of unhealthy attachment I need to dig into with my therapist, or is this just normal and an effective and worthy approach to continue pursuing? So to start, I'll end with by saying this, is that it's not unhealthy. Most guys I've come across in doing this for 20 years now, most guys are out there wanting to only date one woman. So the wanting to just find that one person and solely be with them and not have to spend time, energy, effort, and money on other people, totally justified, right? But let's work backwards to this, right? So to start off with, he says that there's always one woman that has an X factor. So I try to stress to you guys this. After one date with one person, you do not know enough about them to have sniffed out any X factor. You just don't. Like, I know you think, and again, I've said on the show before, as guys, we tend to be making assessments and judgments about the women we're dating, like very quickly. So as a guy, you might very well think after one date with like an hour and a half of conversation, you like the way she dressed, you like the way she smelled, you heard a little bit about her lifestyle, maybe she brought in some sexual innuendos, and you're like, wow, this date is better than the 4 dates I went on where that stuff didn't happen. So you know what? She's already got the X factor. She's already somebody I'm choosing. I want to get rid of these 4 other women. I just found in my dating life that one date is not enough to really get to know if this woman actually has an X factor, because X factor indicates that you see her as different from all other women. And as I've learned, after 2 or 3 dates, you will come to learn most women are very much the same. So that woman on that first date that was shy and talking about being feminine, and about wanting to be a stay-at-home wife, you're like, oh, she's traditional. Oh, she's got these values, blah, 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 blah. By day 3, she could be on a date where she's yelling at her server, or she's telling you about an ex that she still has in the background, or all these other things, right? You do not know enough on date number 1 to really actually authentically know any one woman enough to be like, yep, she's the one I'm going to concentrate on. So that's why I really tell you guys to go on multiple dates with multiple women, because as you date each woman more, you're going to find out more stuff. And then you're going to discover, you know what? People can have really good behavior on that first, second, even third date. But by date 6, true colors are going to start to come out. True opinions are going to come out. She's going to start to get a little bit lax in how she's speaking to you or how she's doing certain things. And it takes time to suss that out. So you're giving women the benefit of the doubt after one date that they're an X factor, and you think you know, you have no idea. So even if you're feeling more things for one woman versus the other, I say it still behooves you to consider that your brain is tricking you because she's really, really pretty and smells really, really good, and she looks like everything you'd ever want, and you're thinking by default, she's the one, but you don't actually know. So really consider dating a bit more with all those other people before you make a decision. Now, the second part, I don't think it's actually a bad thing if you only want to date one person. Like I've talked about dating multiple people is a good thing for the reasons I just mentioned, but also a big reason, especially for guys that are just getting their feet wet in terms of the dating market. Early on, it's a really good idea for you as a guy to consider going on multiple dates with multiple women in the beginning, and then you can kind of like narrow down what you want, right? But here's why I do that, is because in the beginning, most guys are of the thought process that they can't get women. And so they end up thinking, I'm going to date this one woman, but I got to make it work out. She's got to be my end all be all, because if I don't make this work, oh my God. And what happens? You end up applying pressure to this one woman to make it have to happen, and that she should be your girlfriend. And when you do that, you apply so much pressure that women can feel that. When women feel pressure from guys, it feels like he wants me to choose right away. He wants to already wife me up. He's already telling me what I have to do and what not to do. He's already trying to be emotional. He's already trying to build vulnerability and openness about things that I'm not ready to take on quite yet. And it's a lot. And so men that haven't been in the habit of dating a lot of women, they have a limited mindset about who's going to be willing to date them. And then by proxy of that, they end up messing it up. Versus, let's say early in your dating life, you start out by, you're going to go on 3 to 5 dates a week with new women. So you swipe on 5 women, you take all of them out, it's a good time, right? And you do it the next week and the next week. What your brain starts to realize is, hey, I'm actually really good at getting women to go on dates. Like I'm really good at getting them on dates and then wanting to go on multiple dates, which means I'm actually good at building attraction. This is a good thing for me to know, because now my part of my esteem is going to be, I know how to get women, and I know that women are easily replaceable. Meaning, if I go on, say this week, I go on dates with like 5 different women and none of them work out, I know that next week I can set up 5 more dates. Why is this a good thing? A lot of our fear comes from this idea that we're going to be alone forever and that we don't have the skill set to get more women if this one woman that I really, really want goes away. But if you have that mindset, you're going to be fearful, and you're always going to be forcing any one woman you date to have to work. Now, if early on you're dating multiple women, you're able to build up in your head that you can, in fact, date more women, to where if you lose a woman, you have no problem getting another woman. That is going to serve you well when you do start to date and you're dating more singularly, meaning you decide one day, you know what? This costs a lot of money to date multiple women. I'm going to just date one woman at a time. But you're going to go into that with the mindset of saying to yourself subconsciously, yeah, I'm going to date one woman at a time, but I know if this woman doesn't work out, I can easily replace her and get another date next week. And being able to do that removes the fear that most guys have that only date one woman of, if this doesn't work out, I'm going to be alone forever. And that's key. The key is that once you're able to build up your esteem enough to know that you can go out there and meet more women, you can choose to date one woman at a time or date multiple women at a time. And either way, you're not going to be rattled by that. Now, here's the thing. When you walk with the frame of, I can easily get women, then if you're dating one woman, you're not going to put pressure on her to have to make it work. So she's going to still get the feeling tone of, this guy feels like he can get women. Like it feels like if he gets rid of me, he'll have somebody else next week. Most guys think that's a negative thing if women feel that, but that's actually a positive, because women like men that other women want. Women like men who can get other women, because it means that he knows women and knows how to take care of them. And so she'll be in a contest with herself. She'll be like, I don't know if he's dating other people or not, but just in case he is, because I can't really tell, I need to be on my A game. And then they'll do things to make sure that they're in your good graces and that they're winning you over, versus what most guys do when they date one woman, which is, oh, I got to make sure I do everything right, and she's got to be perfect and pedestal this and that. And I think this guy here is worried that if he dates one woman, it's going to be unhealthy. He's going to be clingy. That tells me he hasn't gotten to the mind frame yet where he's dated enough women multiply to realize he can get other women if the one he wants goes away. Because here's the thing. It's fine if you think a woman has an X factor, but what I don't want you to do is think that because she has an X factor, you have to stay with her. And that if she does anything to rattle you or mess things up, that you can't just leave her, because her having an X factor is great, but that's no excuse for being able to, for her having poor behavior, for her talking to any kind of way, for her having multiple exes in the background and stuff like that. And you need to get to a point in your dating journey where you're so comfortable with the idea that you can get other women that you're like, you meet her, yeah, she's a unicorn. Yeah, she's got the X factor, but still, if she messes this up, I can find somebody else that also has an X factor. And so that's the thing. I don't think it's a bad thing to date one woman at a time, as long as you have the mindset that doesn't mean it has to work out, and that you've had the practice of knowing that you're still able to get multiple women or other women out there should this one mess up. Now, if you don't have the ability to do that, that means that A, you haven't dated multiple women. I recommend doing that. And also, you're in the mind frame of such that you don't think you can get other women. At the point that you're able to believe that you yourself have the ability to go out there and make things happen with multiple women, your dating life is going to increase. And you're going to find by default, and ironically, that more women are going to want to stay with you because they know that you have this self-esteem to recognize you are any woman's catch and any woman will be lucky to have you, versus you feeling that you'd be lucky to get any woman. If you need help with that kind of mindset, you can go to HarryWilmington.com and sign up for coaching, and we can start talking you into how to think about yourself in a different capacity to where you're not going to think that you got to just accept anything, and that if you date one woman, you got to make it work, So hopefully that answers that guy's question. Hey there, thanks for tuning in to Harry Dating Convos. Don't forget to visit HarryWilmington.com to download my free ebook, Texting Women Like a Boss. And while you're there, if you're ready to take things to the next level with your dating life, check out the Get Girls Academy membership program for exclusive strategies and live coaching. Go to HarryWilmington.com to learn more and join today. Lastly, if you've got a question you'd like answered on one of these shows, leave a comment below or write me at HarryWilmington@gmail.com. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.